So me, 26, and my husband, 28, who I'll call Jake for this story, have been together for 5 years and married for 3. We have recently started trying for a baby as we both felt like that was the next step in our life together, and 3 weeks ago I got a positive test back. We were really happy and told our families, and now my mom and mother-in-law want to throw a big baby shower for us. It was just super good news all around. Well, 2 nights ago me and Jake were getting ready for bed when he reminds me to go through the house and make sure all the lights are off. Now he can be a little lazy at times, and it has become a nightly routine for me to make sure all the lights are off that he leaves on before we go to bed. I wasn't feeling very well and asked if he could just do it, since he wasn't doing anything and was literally standing by the door. He then tells me no, this is what is expected of you every night. I was a little hurt, but I didn't want to fight with him, so I just did it. When I came back, Jake goes on this very long and unprovoked rant, saying things like just because you are pregnant does not mean anything will change, and you are still expected to cook, clean, and do all the chores every day, because how can you be expected to be a mother if you can't handle a little work? He wasn't yelling or anything, he was talking to me quietly like was 2 inches tall. I was shocked because I had never heard him say anything like this. The rant went on for about 30 minutes before I interjected and asked, well, what do you plan on doing to help me with all of this? He then got extremely defensive, saying he works his butt off at his job to provide for me and what is going to be our future children. For context, I don't work at M. My job was not paying enough to justify me going, so I am a full-time college student. He ended by saying that it doesn't matter how I feel physically or mentally, it is a mother's job to push through, and if he helped and babied me, I wouldn't be a good mother. I got extremely upset and started yelling, and I said that I wish I would have known this is how you felt before I got pregnant with your baby. There was a moment of silence before he started crying, and he left for the night to stay at his mother's house. He hasn't been back yet, and my mother-in-law and sister-in-law have called me berating me and saying I broke Jake's heart with what I said, and I need to apologize immediately, and until I do, he isn't coming home. I don't know how to feel. So am I the idiot for yelling at my husband after he said he isn't helping me with anything during the pregnancy because it's a mother's job to deal with it? Not the idiot, your husband was being a complete tool. You can be a great mom and get help. Also, it's a dad's responsibility to help with the housework, cooking and childcare, especially when you're pregnant and after having a baby. Honestly, if he expects you to do it all on your own and clean up after him to do his demands, like turning off all the lights, then you might as well be a single parent and get the benefits of being alone. I honestly don't think he won't come back. If you don't apologize, should bother you, I think you should say he can't come back if he doesn't apologize and change. If your mother-in-law and sister-in-law are still at you, make it clear what he said to, and that you won't be treated like a slave. Not the idiot. I am so sad for you. I have been in abusive relationships. People question why you stayed, but often it is not clear when you are in the situation just how bad it is. He waited until you were trapped to show his colors. He won't change. And the fact that he cried and is trying to make out you were in the wrong is gaslighting 101. Have a long think about whether you can raise a child with this man. I have 2 kids with a man who didn't pull his weight at home and then gave me an ultimatum between him and my job. I chose my job, the best decision ever. I will say this, my kids are everything to me, but also my ex has used them to try to control me, even after we divorced. Not the idiot. Do not apologize. Let him stay there. His mother, who clearly pushes through everything for him, can take care of her child. You may think it will be easier to give in, but this behavior will continue and get worse. He clearly has expectations of you that you were not aware of when you got pregnant. And while you are not the idiot, you also had more realistic expectations of him that he was not aware of. You have a communication issue as well. You are not wrong here. Stand your ground. Maybe some couples therapy will help. Please do not apologize. He will take that as him being right. My husband has kids from his previous marriage. He splits custody with his ex-wife. His ex only lives a couple miles from us, so even though custody is week on week off, the kids will still drop by often on his ex's time to grab different clothes or shoes, or just to say hi at our place. No big deal. This afternoon, my husband grabbed some fast food takeaway on his way home from work. He didn't grab enough for the kids as we weren't expecting them, but the boys dropped by. I had left my burger on the kitchen table with a few bites out of it as I was also getting up and down with a few other chores. I'm walking back into the kitchen from swapping laundry into the dryer, and I see my 16-year-old stepson with my burger bun in hand, picking toppings off my food. I said, "Hey, please don't put your fingers in my dinner, that's gross." He replies, "Dad said I could eat it, I'm taking off the stuff I don't like," and proceeds to pick tomatoes off my food. I said again, "I'm not done eating that, please leave my dinner on the plate." I was confused, but assumed my husband thought I was done after a couple of bites. Apparently not, because my husband gave me a really weird look and said to his kid, "Just finish it, we'll get something else for dinner." My husband had already eaten his food, so it would have meant getting me something else for dinner, not him. I said, "No, I am right in the middle of eating that," and his son finally put it down and said, "It's fine, Mom is expecting us for dinner anyway." I told my husband that was crazy rude of him and his son, but he seems to think if the kids are hungry it doesn't matter. Am I weird in thinking that giving away someone's partially eaten plate of food is just rude and strange? Not the idiot. So if his kids are hungry, you get screwed? His kid is also an idiot for trying to take your food when he knew full well that he had dinner waiting for him at his mother's house. Your husband sounds like a colossal douche. Is he always this inconsiderate and disrespectful toward you? If he continues to tell you that you were rude for not giving his kid your food, tell him that tons of internet strangers disagree with him and told you that he was not only rude, but he was also catastrophically disrespectful and inconsiderate to you by just telling his kid to eat your food without caring if you were hungry still. I wouldn't want the burger anymore after I saw someone's fingers all over it. He should go and get anything you want to order at this point. The dad is a disrespectful idiot for saying that he could eat your food. The teen is also an idiot for taking apart your food that was partially eaten. Who in the hell eats someone's partially eaten food anyways? While you were still eating it and knowing that he was going to have dinner soon, and that was clearly someone else's. I have had the same problem because I like to graze and don't inhale my food. I have had people eat things off of my plate because they've eaten theirs already, and I eat slow. I freaking can't stand that. Definitely not the idiot, OP. Not the idiot. It's rude and strange and preferential treatment. It's what a lot of parents with fractured families seem to do. You see a lot of comments from kids stating that step-parents frequently give food or other objects that belong to them to their own biological children instead, often right within the view of the person losing their item. It's rude and extremely preferential treatment and hurts people's feelings. I really question the values of people who do this. They completely miss any aspect of empathy for the person being affronted and treated like this is just the way the world works. No, they are grooming an entitled brat. I'm partially deaf and have auditory processing disorder. Basically, conversations are difficult. You have to speak very loudly and enunciate your words correctly in order for me to understand. I can lip read to an extent, but not very well. My little sister, 14, is currently going through a phase of speaking very quietly, barely moving her mouth. I don't know what this is, but it makes conversations incredibly difficult. I have to ask her to repeat herself upwards of 10 times. She doesn't know sign and her handwriting is pretty bad, so I can't read what she writes. I'm also dyslexic. Our parents decided to put all of the disabilities in one child. So the only way I can talk to her is if one of our siblings repeats everything she says for me, which is not only frustrating for them, also quite humiliating for me. My sister can speak loudly. She has no issue yelling if she's being spoken over, so I don't think it's an anxiety thing. It's really frustrating that she insists on talking quietly with me. For the past week or so, every time she's tried to talk to me, I've told her she can either speak up or not speak at all, because I'm overputting so much effort in. If she wants to talk to me, she can fix her speech patterns. One of my brothers has agreed with me. He isn't hard of hearing, her talking quietly just annoys him. But everyone else is insisting I'm asking too much, and that it's just a phase she'll grow out of. I shouldn't be cutting contact because of something so minimal. I'm less stressed, and she has been speaking clearer around me, but she does seem quite upset over it. On one hand, her comforts don't come above my accommodations, but on the other, I feel like an awful person. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. I'm sorry to say this, but there's a very good chance that this phase of hers is directly because of your disability. Speaking more softly could be a phase, but also not moving her lips as much? No, I don't think that's a coincidence when she has a deaf brother. She doesn't like that you get the extra attention of accommodations from others, so she's either consciously or subconsciously refusing to accommodate you. Your parents should have been the ones to nip this in the bud, and it's a shame that they haven't. She might actually need to go see a family counselor about this, because I think it could be much deeper than a teenage phase. No idiots here. I am naturally soft-spoken, and I have a few friends who are hard of hearing. It is very uncomfortable to have to shout to them all the time. It strains my voice, gives me a sore throat, and causes me to lose my voice if I do it for a few hours. It's not your fault, but it probably isn't her fault either. I would just recommend that you compromise where you can. Save your conversations for quiet places and times. Text more. And I'm assuming you've already looked into hearing aids, but if you haven't done that and can afford it, please do. I can't convey how annoyed I get with my friends who own hearing aids but neglect to wear them. I'm not going to pass judgment, but maybe give another perspective. I have ADHD and didn't get diagnosed until my 20s. But prior to that, I used to get in trouble for speaking too loudly. Especially when I was excited, I would essentially yell while I spoke, and it was always so embarrassing to be called out on it or scolded. I eventually began to speak so softly because I figured something was wrong with my hearing, and I was way louder than I thought I was. I did get over it shortly, but maybe it's that. Try talking to your sister OP. It doesn't have to be a guessing game if you don't want it to. I, 43, have two daughters, Rose, 16, and Lily, 14. Lily is a picky eater and has a wind-up personality. She also suffers from esophageal syncope, and thus, I'm constantly worried about her. Dad's not in the picture. Recently, it had been Rose's sweet 16th birthday. When I asked her multiple times what gifted she wanted, she told me she didn't want anything and vehemently denied any of my advances regarding the gift. Her and Lily don't exactly get along, and Rose is comparatively less extroverted. Since Rose didn't tell me anything about her wishes, I planned a small party for her and decided to order food for the two of them. Lily is a picky eater, so I went along with what her choices were too as well. Lily doesn't like chocolate or red velvet, but Rose loves the two. So I ordered a vanilla cake and some Italian, because Lily doesn't fuss over the spices the Chinese cuisine has. Rose likes Chinese. I did so because I didn't Lily to stress herself out on the choices or feel left out and be fussy about the food. The party went smoothly, or so I thought. The next day, Rose tells me she expected the partiality that I showed. She tells me that she's disappointed that I don't care about her because the present I got her, a dress with matching accessories, wasn't something she was very fond of, but rather got Lily what she liked, a nail art kit. She hated the fact that Lily got a preset and had been accommodated into the party and seemed pretty jealous to me. I tell her that we must care about family and not alienate others out, no matter how special the day might be to us. She tells me that the day she turns 18 will be the day she will alienate us, and then I can enjoy my life peacefully with Lily. All I wanted to do was to make sure that Lily didn't feel left out, and Rose learned how to share things with family. I don't think what I did was wrong. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Your daughter is telling you something. This wasn't a one-off occurrence, was it? You have systematically favored Lily. Saying she has a wind-up personality is telling me you let her be an annoying idiot. My guess is Rose didn't tell you what she wanted because you'd only go and make sure Lily was catered to regardless. Why does Lily need a gift on Rose's birthday? At 14, she should understand it isn't her birthday, so she shouldn't be feeling left out. What you did was sully Rose's special day by not even caring enough to make this just one day that's about her. I don't blame her for cutting you out. They don't get along because you have created this divide between them. You are the idiot. Your title is a lie, by the way. You didn't accommodate both daughters' needs on one daughter's birthday. You only accommodated Lily's needs, not even needs, they were Lily's wants, which makes you an even bigger idiot on Rose's birthday. Rose didn't get the cake she wanted, but Lily did. She didn't get the meal she wanted, but Lily did. She didn't get the present she wanted, but Lily did. Do you see a pattern here? Do you see the problem here? You clearly have a favorite child and make no attempt to hide it from Rose. Shame on you. I hope that she makes good on her promise to leave at 18 and goes no contact with you and Lily. Everything is not about Lily, especially on Rose's birthday. You are the idiot. You're her parent, you could have at least tried to get Rose what she likes instead of just going with Lily's favorites. Why not show that you're trying to make the day special for Rose, the birthday girl, not Lily? You purposely got cake Lily likes instead of what Rose likes. Same with the food. Why are you so spiteful? You could have at least bought both. The favoritism is obvious. I don't blame Rose for giving up on you. And why is Lily getting a gift on her sister's birthday? She's 14. That's at least 10 years past when she should have learned that other people's birthdays aren't about you.